this session. Yeah, this isn't, I need a new thing for my new phone. Anyway, I just wanted to get on, and I hope you can ignore that shakiness. Anyway, I just wanted to get on, so I could talk about what the upcoming theme or topic or energies I'm going to be speaking on for the month of April. I just kind of wanted to get on so I could talk about it a little bit and to just give you guys a general idea of what and why. So, side note, if I end up on a tangent or off topic, you can tap, oh wait, I got a new phone, I'm not used to it, tap right here on this side of the phone and then you can skip through, right? So with that said, and I just made a post about it earlier today, but the theme and the topic for April are going to be self-esteem and shadow work. So with that, as you know, springtime is upon us. It's now Aries season, and we're transitioning from one season to another. Hey boo. We're transitioning from one season to another, right? And we're transitioning from one energy to another. It's like the in-between time, right? Well, just as the seasons change, we also change, and so does our focus, right? Naturally, subconsciously, we kind of focus on things in accordance to our surroundings, whether it's the season, the holiday, whatever the case might be. But, oh, hey, Tori. Hey, boo. So the theme for April is self-esteem and shadow work. Now, I just want to explain why this is the topic and why we're focusing on it, why we're going to be focusing on it for the month of April. Now, again, like I mentioned, it's the beginning of Aries season. Now, each of the zodiac have a mantra or a theme that coincide with it. And the Aries theme or mantra is I am. Now, Aries is also the first sign of the zodiac, and that makes it very childlike. It's like the baby of the zodiac. So you may notice like the Chinese New Year, how that always happens in February. Well, that's why. It's like this is the beginning technically of the astrological New Year. So that's why a lot of times people are still on their whole New Year, New Me kick all the way up until now. That's the energy that they're going off of. So I say that to say that the energy is already there for that focus on self, right? It has a lot of the same vibes as the New Year, the I am. Now, also with that, as I mentioned before, because we're leaving from winter into spring, the energy surrounding that is a grounding energy, right? So like, like naturally in the winter times you hibernate, and then after you're done hibernating, well, it's time to kind of like, wake up, get the shit that you, get your little snack on, eat on whatever you got left over before it's time to get ready, get presentable, and to go out into the world. Well, energetically, this is happening, and this is happening on a subconscious level. Whether people realize it or acknowledge it or not, it's happening. So what I'm trying to do is I'm just trying to bring some level of awareness to this so you can use this energy for your highest good. It's just like if you knew that the Powerball ticket, that shit was popping and it was expensive, and I'm telling you now is the best time to go and get a ticket. You know what I'm saying? It's just like that. It's just like, just so you have a heads up. Like, it's already happening. This gives you the ability to work with the energies that are already happening. So anyway, this time of year, spring, because it's spring technically, but it's not full spring. Like, the sun is on my face right now, but in the shade it's cold as fuck. You know what I'm saying? It was raining the day before yesterday, so it's not full blown spring. It's the beginning of spring, right? So again, the same concept of, well, you're still waking up after the hibernation. Like, like when you first wake up at 6 a.m., like that first hour when you kind of just trying to get your life, you making your coffee, you're doing your morning routine. That's the energy that we're going through right now with this Aries season throughout the month of April. Now, that's the energy that's already happening. And with that, it's also, like I mentioned, the theme of I am. So it's a perfect time to focus on yourself, and to lay a great foundation to build upon for the rest of the year. Okay? And I'm sorry if I'm yelling. I just want to make sure that I feel like the car is noisy because I'm on the highway. Anyway, so it's basically just trying to find a way to use these energies that are already happening, that are already playing out around us. So why self-esteem and shadow work, you might be asking. I'm so happy that you did. So self-esteem and shadow work are the foundations for self-love, okay? Self-love and self-esteem go hand in hand. But like I mentioned, we're laying the foundation for what's to come in the upcoming year. You can't establish healthy boundaries without first having some level of self-awareness and self-esteem to which you initiated those boundaries to begin with. You see what I'm saying? So self-esteem is literally the cement that we are laying on the ground. It is literally what we are barely beginning to pour in order to make sure that we can take the next steps before we start building the frame of our new homes ourselves. You see what I'm saying? So self-esteem is like the blueprint of the entire setup. Self-esteem is how you're able to measure your goals, your aspirations on a personal and a spiritual level. On, like, and when I say spiritual, I'm referring to like deep down to your core, like your morality, to your deepest being, not to the superficial layers of ourselves. We all have them. I'm talking the deepest of your deep core. That's spirituality. What will make you right within? What will help your subconscious mind to feel as if you are living your divine purpose. This is what I mean when I say spiritual. I'm not talking about religion, so just to throw that out there. So along this journey and along this path, it's going to be, like I mentioned before, there are other aspects that are very important, like going on from here, as I mentioned before, boundaries. Boundaries are probably one of the very next big aspects. Hi, Carol. And one of the very next big aspects of this journey that you're going to have to establish. But you can't go off and start fucking putting wood in the ground if you don't have the cement placed in the ground to begin with. You see what I'm saying? And so self-esteem is that cement. Self-esteem is what we build the rest of the self-discovery journey upon, because basically it's like your understanding of your own self-worth. Now, if you have no understanding of your own self-worth, then how the fuck are you gonna establish boundaries with anyone else? Well, you can't. It's like, there are policies nobody knows what they're supposed to do, in order to make sure that standards are met all the way across the board, well, then you're not having a fully functioning business. You see what I'm saying? You're fucking up, really. And so the same thing goes for your self-discovery journey, right? So you have to have these orders and these systems in place in order to even know whether or not they're being upheld. They have to be established first. Going back to the ideal and the example of healthy boundaries. You can't establish healthy boundaries if you don't even have any understanding that boundaries need to be established to begin with. Okay? So, I'm sorry if I said that a couple different ways. I just really want to get that point across because it's really that important. So with that said, a self-esteem is how you're going to perceive your own self-worth. Self-esteem is how you established the things that you are willing to accept and not accept. Self-esteem is how you establish the way you want to navigate through your journey. So it's just like if you plan on going somewhere, you have to put your location where you want to be. You have to put it in the GPS, right? Now, if you want to avoid any tolls, if you want to avoid any highways, if you want to avoid the streets, whatever the case is, if you want to avoid accidents, you want to avoid bridges, well, you have to learn to accommodate your schedule, your trip, your travel for these things. Now, having a healthy understanding of your own self-esteem is how we are able to navigate this journey, and it's how we're able to plan this trip accordingly, okay? Now, the next part is shadow work. Now, if you're not familiar with shadow work refers to doing self-discovery on aspects that we would deem undesirable, the more toxic or unhealthy traits that we would consider ourselves to have, right? So I will use myself as an example because that's all I know how to do. I personally have some codependency issues that I know that I need to deal with. Now, I didn't always know that I had codependency issues, but my last relationship taught me that, and it really brought that out. Now, my codependency, it's not that it's the most negative thing in the world, because it's not. It's an aspect of me, and it's why I am the way that I am, and it has a lot to do with why I am the way that I am. So, my backstory, my mother had me really young, and with that, she also had some codependency issues. And so a young mom having a young child, well, we became codependent upon one another. Now, and oftentimes that's how it works. That's how people, even establish these traits or habits or shit to begin with. Oh, hey, boo. It's a lot of times that's how these traits, these toxic traits, even begin. A lot of times they begin with our parents or the people that raised us. So it's no one's fault unless they are like purposely being negative, and that's a whole different video. Anyway, so I just say that as an example, so like codependency is a trait that I've acknowledged that I had that I need to work on, right? So that is shadow work. Me taking the necessary steps to, 1, acknowledge my codependency, 2, accept my codependency for what it is, 3, learn how to navigate this codependency to something that's a little less and a little less independent. You see what I'm saying? So it's not to say that shadow work is, it's the thing about it is that it's hard work. It's not easy. Everybody doesn't want to look in the mirror and admit, I'm a toxic person. I have codependency issues. I have problem with what is it? immersing myself within another person, or immersing myself within a project, or immersing myself within a community. And that's the thing too. It's not only people. There's levels to this shit, right? Because I also am a workaholic, and this is how I've lived and experienced my codependency throughout my entire adult life. Now, it wasn't until my most recent relationship that I realized that is in fact what I was doing. I was playing my codependency out throughout my work. I allowed my work to be that to which I was codependent upon. But then once I switched and I traded that work for another person, well, then that's when I learned that I again am codependent. But it just brought my eyes open to the fact that it was in that particular manner. Does that make any sense? I hope it does. I really hope it does, because that's how it works. You know what I'm saying? Shadow work, it's not easy, it's not beautiful, a lot of those nights you're gonna end up fucking crying. But you know what? At the end of it all, you will have a level of understanding. You will have you will create a higher sense of awareness, and it's only when you're aware that you can actually do something about it. People say that they want to change all the time, but if you don't take the time to acknowledge what it is that you need to change and how it is that you're going to change it, well, then your words are just that. They're just words. You see what I'm saying? So you got to put in that work, and you have to be willing to accept that you are not perfect, that you have played a part in every situation in your life, no matter how disappointing, no matter how much we would rather not believe this to be true. You know, you have to learn to accept it, and you have to learn how to work around it. Don't judge yourself, don't talk down upon yourself for these things, but you just have to acknowledge them, and this is how you become aware. Right? So this is basically the topic that I'm going to be touching on, or the topics that I'm going to be touching on all April, because again, that's just the energy that's going to be popping off. It's just going to be this month is all about self. Like, I know this is a self-discovery journey, and so you might be like, well, why would it not be about self? But I say that this is about self because, unlike boundaries or communication, they don't involve other people. Self is just that. It's you. It's who you are when you're laying down and you're going to bed at night. When you wake up first thing in the morning, it's those thoughts that you're having. Those thoughts while you're like this, you're driving, you're on your way to work in the morning. What are those thoughts that you're having? You know, what's that internal dialogue that's consistently going on? You see what I'm saying? So, yeah, I hope I didn't talk your ear off, but I'm really excited because I'm really looking forward to it. I'm going to try, and I think this is the plan. I'm going to go live every week to talk about a different, aspect of these topics: self-discovery and self-esteem and shadow work. So, yeah, I mean, I'm excited. I'm going. I'm ready, girl. I'm ready. I'm actually kind of mad. I have to go and do a massage right now because I'm actually happy that I got on live. Yeah, girl, and your birthday's coming up. See, and that's the thing too. So you're feeling it. You're feeling it, which is beautiful. Take this time. Take this time. You know, like on some hippie shit. I'm gonna go there real fast. I don't know how long I've been talking, but on some hippie shit, I'm gonna go there and I'm gonna say that when you have your birthday, right? Everybody feels themselves on their birthday, right? I don't know about you. I'm a little extra, so I be taking that shit to I be doing the whole month, right? The whole month. But when it comes time, it's like that energy around you, it builds up, and it's like, opportunities. It's like you're fucking glowing. You know what I'm saying? It's like opportunities, people, conversations, experiences. They gravitate towards you around your birthday. It's not a coincidence. It's not a coincidence at all. So I say all that to say, become a fucking alchemist and use that energy and transmute it into something beautiful. That's why I launched The Haven in February on my birthday, because I wanted to use that energy and transmute it to something that is fucking way bigger than me. Way fucking bigger than me. You see what I'm saying? So use that, friend. Use that. I know what you mean, and I know what it's like. I'm a major introvert. My friends, I've always had a very small group of friends, and since I've been on this spiritual path, it's gotten even smaller. Last year, I actually had to cut off one of my best friends from my freshman year in high school. You know, so it had been almost 15 years. Has it been longer than that? 15 years that I'd known this girl. And, you know, but the thing about it is, I realized that she was an energy vampire. Every time we talked, she would just like vent to me and tell me all her problems. And then she'd get off the phone. And then I'd be kind of just like, you know, I'm an empath, so I just would be kind of left with that energy, all that weight that she would put on me. And that shit fucking sucked, because I couldn't ever put my finger on it. I could never explain why I felt like shit when we got off the phone, and why I felt so obligated. And again, because of my codependency, why I felt so obligated to help her and to do something about it. Right? But then after a while, you'll reach a point and you'll reach a peak. You reach plateaus within your path. But with those plateaus come major fucking lessons and major life changes. Okay? And so at first it was hard to let her go. It was hard to cut off that relationship. You know what I'm saying? And this is a friendship that I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, bitch, you don't know how hard it is for me to make a friend to begin with. Like, now I gotta get rid of the one friend that I got. Like, goddamn, man, it's hard, right? So I just say that to say, you will reach a point though where you'll realize, or you'll acknowledge that this shit ain't serving me no more, and you'll just reach a point where it's just like, you know, when you lose or gain weight, and some of the shit that you used to be able to wear, you just can't wear that shit no more. And you just gotta let it go. And like, just let it go. Like, let it go. Like, not put it away, not put it in the drawer. You gotta just throw that shit out. Fucking donate it. You see what I'm saying? And that's how a lot of these relationships and these friendships become. You just gotta cut them off, and you just gotta let them go. And see, the thing about it is, a lot of times we want to hold on to these relationships because, again, they're what we have and they're what we hold dear. But the universe doesn't play that shit. The universe will force your fucking hand. The universe will tell you, and it will give you the opportunity to do what you need to do. The universe will be like, look, girl, I'm going to show you how fucked up this person is. What you going to do with it, though? And so you be like, that's my friend. She's my friend, though. I gotta turn the blind eye. You know, that's my friend. That's my best friend. I know her trauma. I know her issues. Making excuses for other motherfuckers. I know what she's been through. I know why she does that. I know why she acts like that. But then, like I said, if the universe is showing you that you need to cut that person off, and you are ignoring those signs, girl, the universe is going to do some shit. The universe is going to force your hand. You're not going to have any other option but to let that person go. And that's facts. I didn't want to let my ex-boyfriend go. I didn't want to let it go. You know what the universe did? Gave him a baby with somebody else. What? Hello? The universe universe will force you. The universe will force your fucking hand. It'll be like, okay, look here. You don't want to listen to me. I'm going to give you some shit that you cannot ignore. I'm going to do some shit. We just going to take this whole board and we just going to swat it up. That's literally what the universe does. Carol, I know it's hard because you're empathic also. But see, I feel like we have a similar background because it's something that's been taught. You've been taught how to cope and how to deal with people that have their own issues. You know what I'm saying? Like how my mom with her codependency. And so naturally we kind of attract a certain type of people that reflect those aspects of our growing up. You know what I'm saying? So like, because I have had that, a lot of my relationships have been one-sided. A lot of my relationships, including the friendships with the friend I was just talking about, a lot of the relationships I've had have been one-sided, and a lot of them have been, I was in, two of them were borderline abusive, emotionally and physically. So, that's the thing, though. It's like, you can't really help, you know? But when you become aware, well, then you can do something about it. And then you can establish those healthy boundaries. You know what I'm saying? And that's why a lot of times, especially cancers, she just canceled her massage? Dude, she just canceled her massage. I'm supposed to be doing right, like, in, 30 minutes. What? How sway? Hold the fuck on. Pump the fucking brakes. I'm sorry, y'all. I lost my whole train of thought. Damn. I was saying, though, that's why you guys get a bit of a bad rap, cancers, for being so tough on the outside. But it's almost like it's like people don't get hard for no reason. It's like you have to become aware. You have to get fucked over to even know what being fucked over is like, to even be in a place where you have to protect yourself from potentially getting fucked over. You see what I'm saying? So, yes, man, halfway through, it's fucking 6:30. It's almost, God damn it, it's almost, it's rush hour traffic right now. So, that's kind of disrespectful and rude. I'm probably gonna get down and, well, shit, I guess I got some time. Yeah, exactly. It's how you protect yourself. You have to learn to protect yourself. That's the thing. People don't, everybody, and that's the thing too. Everybody protects themselves in different ways. So, but it comes with time. It comes with time. It comes with practice. It comes with effort. Unfortunately. But you'll reach a point where you just gotta, you'll put yourself first. You'll have enough. Enough is enough. You know what I'm saying? So. Alright. Well, now I'm fucking conflicted. I gotta get off the phone and see what the hell I'm gonna do. See if she tried to reschedule for a later time or what. But either way, it's supposed to be 30 minutes. I'm supposed to be there in 30 minutes. I don't know what the hell. So rude. And she literally booked this today. I could have been doing my own thing. I got some shit to do. I got my own work to do. I got a membership site to run. Man, people be playing me. this is my 9 to 5 massage therapy. I love it. It's my craft. I'm a natural. I've been doing this shit for 10 years now. I love it. But my divine purpose is teaching, which I never even knew that until the Haven. But whatever. I'm gonna see what's up with this lady. It's been real. Thanks, Carol. You too. I know you be cooking some shit up. I'm sure you're gonna eat good, have a nice dinner. You stay cooking. But yeah, we'll see if she didn't reschedule. But I'll talk to you later. And to anybody who watches this replay, if you made it all the way to the end, you're a real one. I love you. I'll see you later. Bye.